Last time we met, we looked at the additional must-haves and like-to-haves. We identified these first three: uploading customer documents, appointment times, and allowing self-referral as future enhancement. And then we identified bulk referrals and being able to forward a referral as a must-have, as well as with the border, partners for those along the borders of the state, and then automating the county. So I went ahead and put a note here. There wasn't really any large mock-up with these other than making sure we had county and zip code. So I updated those. We'll take a look at those in a minute. One of the things that I would like to, and again, let me share this link so you can get in here if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. Um, so up in this area, we talked about the bulk referrals, and some of the things we said about them is to mainly treat them like workshops and allow IDS to be able to upload information such as like name, address, phone number, date of birth, warm or priority as far as their status, warm lead or priority as their status, and identify services. And then, provide an automatic response. So talk about that. I'd like to talk about that one first, just because I feel like that one is the more detailed mock-up. And please feel free to ask questions. Um, you know, feel free to correct me if I've done something incorrect. That's totally fine. I wanted to start out. I'll just turn this on to make sure that nothing gets laggy. Um, I wanted to start out with on the dashboard. I put an area, um, and just to distinguish between these workshop type, you know, referrals versus the actual referrals. So I put a couple sections there, and I added a tab to these mock-ups. And so you'll see like this is like the snapshot view and just an example of what we could do. And I'll show you the um, again, the mock-ups where this data would be coming from in just a second. But, thinking that, if the people that were identified as warm leads be, somebody that needs attention, things that were priority leads that need to be reviewed, kind of have those as like a red flag. Once they have been reviewed and marked as receiving a referral, they would be green. And if they don't want a referral, then they would just be gray, so that they, you don't have, that they've been contacted and they don't need anything to, no further steps at this time need to happen with them. And then, once they receive a referral, then they'll go down into this area, which is a referral status area. So what this could look like, at least how I have it mocked up, is that we would have our workshop area. I don't know. I don't know if it would needs to go before this tab, but regardless, we have a workshop area. Just like the customer list, you'd be able to search by name. I'm assuming there would be the different IDS partners, locations. You'd search by county, priority status, warm or priority, and referral status. Either they didn't want a referral, they received a referral, or they still need to be reviewed. So this looks very similar to our other mock-up. I added, this upload where they could be uploaded. You can see we have first name, last name, who the partner was that this came from as far as IDS partner, um, what county. Again, would be automated based on their address, and then warm or priority, those different statuses. You can see if referral date was sent and when this information was last updated. And so to get the information into the system, you can upload an Excel template that would have their name, address, city, state, zip, phone, email, date of birth, warm or priority status. We could have an area where they could, select the different types of services that this person wants to receive. You would upload that information to the system. If there were any errors with the data, if it wasn't formatted the right way, or if a required field was not included, or if a person, is already in the system, in this workshop, that's something we'd have to find out too, is if you can have a person in this listing more than once. Um, whatever that logic is, it would check for errors. And if there are errors, you update the spreadsheet, re-upload it, and once it's free from errors, then the information will be uploaded into the system. And if the information is re-uploaded, it'll just replace, the existing information that's in the system. The other thought, as I was going through this mock-up, was, I know we had talked about in the past, people would get a spreadsheet or they get some kind of like a form of some sort with this type of information. Would it be something that we'd want to provide a link where the people who are attending these workshops can enter the information themselves? It's just a thought. I'll go over this modal window and then pause for any questions. So the mock-up shows that if you want to find out additional information, you could select, maybe you filtered it because you wanted it for a certain county. You can select the person's name, or, maybe you want it for a certain county and the people haven't, for people who haven't been reviewed yet. So you could click on the person's name. If they don't already have a referral, then you would see a modal window and it would collect the information that's listed here. So name, date of birth, email, phone, county. This is our list of services. Just select from the list of services. And then you could, whoever the partner is that's uploading the information, it would be defaulted to who they are, their location. And then they could identify whether this is a warm or priority lead. And, it would save the information. And then whenever the LWIA partner would go into here, you could see, that they identified if they're attempting contact, if the referral was already sent or if the referral is closed. So there's different opportunities, if you wanted to say that you're sending a referral, we could go from here and, um, have it like check that automatically once the referral is sent. I don't think I meant to do referral sent. I put referral closed because I believe it was similar to the definition. Sorry, I have to go all the way down to this corner. I think I selected referral closed for that wording because you could say did not receive services, or that you attempted to contact them. So it had a variety of reasons here. We can definitely talk over what each of these data points should be, whether it should be, like they declined, or, whatever these different statuses should be. But first of all, I'd like to get your feedback on, just in general, is this kind of what you were thinking as far as being for partners to be able to upload the information, and then for you to be able to pick these individuals and maybe send an email as a reaching out whenever you put like attempting contact. When you're attempting contact, does it basically create like a where you can send like an email message to this individual? What are your thoughts on, is this anywhere close to what you guys were thinking as far as a bulk upload, and then being able to respond and kind of like identify those individuals from the workshops, but then transition them into the referral piece that we had already discussed? If anyone's speaking, you are on mute.
Yes, I think that's pretty much what I had in mind when we discussed this. Then it's just a matter of, I think the thing will just be making sure that the IDES staff or know how to do the upload for the Excel spreadsheet, or or whatever template that we give them. So it'd just be us working probably locally with whoever's doing the workshops, and hopefully they oblige.
Okay.
Joel brings up a really good question, and I see, people like, Annie and Kelly on this call. This would be a really great way for us to access these REOCA workshops, where we're sort of at the mercy of the IDES folks on whether or not they want to share it with us, because not every local workforce area gets this information. So here's my question. How vested is IDES in this referral system?
I'll let DCO respond, but just to let you know, I only included this based on conversations from this discovery group. I haven't, personally had any conversations with them about any of this.
No, and you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not really asking you this question.
Yeah.
Asking our DCO folks on the call. But do we know? Because this would be incredibly helpful to all of the local workforce areas in being able to gather information.
Teresa, I would say that just in our area, they're already doing something. We already have our referral system, and they're actually pretty good about putting in the referrals. So just having something better I don't think that's not going to be a big leap, at least in our area. But yeah, I can't speak for other areas.
I know. Here's my concern, though, Joel. We have a great relationship with our local IDES folks, but so many of their decisions are made at a state level. So that's, while they may want to help us and they may want to do it, it may come from a higher being. So that's just my question. No, yeah. I love this, by the way, Natasha. It's great.
And Teresa, I think valid question and point. I think our goal is consistency, right? And so tends to sometimes happen is then things kind of fall trap into local relationships, and then there's inconsistency with what type of information is being shared, how often, frequency, so forth. So being able to have kind of a system and defined process can help support more of a structured approach across the state. But I'll be honest, we have not demoed this or pitched any of this to other title partners that I'm aware of.
No,
Wanted to first kind of build this out and come out with, what's going to work well for DCO providers. And then, at that point, solicit input from our other title partners. So I think we would certainly welcome their input on this approach. And, does this work and align for them? We may want to not title it RESA workshops and just have workshops just for
Right.
general, bulk upload. So we don't have like one of their programs as a tab title necessarily, unless, they want to go down that path. But I think we really wanted to kind of further define, what the system build out looks like, because the system has to work for all of our programs for Title I partners and our other workforce programs. And then, at that point, absolutely,
No, I totally agree with everything you're saying, Kelly. And I guess my question was just,
what's the
they,
buy-in?
where are they in this process? So that you just answered that, and that's
Well,
you gotta have something.
yeah,
For
right.
sure.
But this is Lisa. And so one thing that we are working with them on is like a policy framework, to Kelly's point around consistency. That's as far as we've gotten, because we could never move past technology and which technology is the right technology. So for that referral work group, we have purposefully stayed away from any discussion on technology. But I do understand that there is now an interest, or there's a concern by them rather, that we've cut them out of the process, which has not been the case at all.
Oh, no, I hear you. I get that in my local area all the time. So.
And I would say just me just speaking more local.